back to this folk thing. I got to tell you one more story. There used to be this thing, right? It was before we had Facebook, and it was called a list serve, and everyone was talking about it. And I put a topic out there like, why don't we just admit we're competing with each other? Why don't we just admit that all of this stuff that we're talking about, like, oh, it's all about building relationships. Why don't we just say it's about who you know? Because that's what we're saying. We're just not admitting it. Why don't we just admit to each other that we are competing tooth and nail to get the best showcases, to get the best exposure, to get the most attention from the presenters who are going to be there that later may give us gigs? Why don't we just come out and say it? For the next 2 days, just this litany of just this long list of male folkies talking about how music is not about competition. I don't know who this Dave Morrison character is, but obviously he's never been in this world. We help each other. We're all here. My success is your success. Your success, therefore, is my success. So I'll do everything I can to help a brother out or a sister. Let's not forget the sisters or a trans person. No, the trans people hadn't gotten in the picture yet, but today that would be, and so it was so funny. And so after a couple of days go by, I go. The previous segment has been 20 male folk musicians competing to prove which one of them is the least competitive, and they just hated me because I just I just spoke the truth, and they were coming through this sort of you really, the folk music world is as competitive as anything else, and maybe even more cutthroat, because there are very few gigs that pay anything. There are very few concert circuits that you can be on, the festival circuit, for instance. There's very few prime slots for musicians. So once you get there, once you know those people, you need to know those people, and you have to be brought into the sort of secret society by one of the other people, because it's hyper competitive and everybody's just denying it 24/7. It's just as phony as the day is long.